This is Dude Who's Your Barber, Legacy the Barber,
Officially official.
and you're watching Fade to Fortune.
Oh, all right. Welcome back to Fade to Fortune. This is season 2. Appreciate y'all for watching. Let me go and update y'all on what we're about to do. So I'm Porter the Barber. If you did not know, and this episode kicks off season 2. This is old school versus new school. So the first thing I'm going to do is introduce my special guest. To my right, I have my boy Bruce. I've known him since barber school. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Bruce.
What's going on, y'all? My name's Bruce. Like Porter said, we've known each other since barber school. Just doing my thing, got my own brand, you versus you. It's kind of what I rep, and yeah, that's really all there is to it.
Say less. And to my left, I have my other special guest and co-worker, Mr. D. Go and introduce yourself, Mr. D.
Yes, my name is Mr. D. I go by AKA Funky Groovy Barber. And I'd like to give thanks to the Most High for this day and for this podcast. And we'll be chatting with you.
Say less. And to the left of Mr. D, I have my co-host, my boy Wilts, aka Officially Official. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Wilts.
Yes, sir. It's y'all boy Wills, aka Officially Official. You know what I'm saying? We just out here in Dallas trying to be the biggest, trying to do the biggest things in the barber game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what I like to hear.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's dive into it. And this first one is a icebreaker question. And this is for whoever want to answer it first. If you could give anybody in history, dead or alive, a haircut, who would it be?
I feel like I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts. You know and stuff. His hairline always crispy. I feel like sometimes the fade just look too compressed sometimes though. And it's always on camera. I like seeing cuts on camera that I do.
So you feel like you would do a better job than Jalen Hurts barber?
I'm not saying that. He got a crispy.
But that is what you said though.
I'm just saying I would like to cut him because I know every time he do his like post game conference, like his post game interview, it's always beamed up, and I know his barber feel good watching that.
Okay. How about you, Bruce?
Honestly, bro, if I were to pick somebody, I'd have to pick Vic Blends. I know it's just like the basic answer, but he was the one that inspired me to really cut hair and get into this thing. And even before I started, I remember I was posting stuff on my Instagram story. My friends would slide up and they would be like, dude, I could see you doing something like this. Like, why don't you go to barber school? Why don't you do this? Really thought about it. Once I got into it, I got confident enough, started making videos. I was just like, yeah. I was like, now I see what everyone was talking about. So
Okay.
yeah, he'd be the person I want to cut.
Vic Blends. We got Jalen Hurts and we got Vic Blends. How about you, Mr. D?
I would say Jason Tatum.
Jay.
Jason Tatum. Simply because, his haircut to me is on point. His barber's deep. But I like to add a little more designs and, just come up with some creative things because, bring back some of them old school styles, such as the gummy, the booty, things of that nature. So it would be Jason Tatum, yeah.
Okay, say less. So we got Jason Tatum, Jalen Hurts, and Vic Blends. I want to cut Martin Luther King Jr. I just feel like way back then they didn't have lineups. They didn't really have fades. Yeah. It was barely just a low cut. So I feel like I would change the course of history if I was able to give Martin Luther King a high taper fade with enhancements. Mm-hmm. That's just how I feel. Right. But anyways, we're going to let Wilts roll over into the first official question of the pod.
All right, we're going to start out with you, Mr. D. We know you've been in this game for a very long time. I just want to ask you what your story is. Like, how did you hop into the barber game?
Well, my barber, like most people, started out as a customer. And my barber at the time, I was going to him and, I was seeing that he was, he had a barber shop and he had, a large amount, a bigger shop than, and I saw the growth that he was doing. And I asked him about barbering and he told me, hey, don't look at the money, look at serving. So that's why I've been in it for 3 decades plus,
Okay.
So,
Bruce, how'd you start cutting hair? How'd you get into it?
Dude, it was right around the time when COVID hit. Mm-hmm. My barber shop, the guy I would go to, it got shut down for a couple weeks. And then one day I was like, screw it, I'm going to Target. I'm gonna get a pair of clippers and I'm gonna learn. I started cutting myself. Long story short, I wanted like a mid taper. It didn't come out to like a skin taper, but it didn't come out bad to where like if I walked outside, someone was gonna be like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with your hair right now?" kind of thing. So I mean, after that, a couple of my homies, they were just like, "Bro, like we'll let you practice on us." God bless them, Anthony and Solomon. Appreciate y'all. And from then on out, after I got my associates in college, I was like, dude, I can't do this college thing no more. This is not for me. And then I hopped into barber school, and the rest is history, bro. I mean, something I just fell in love with, something that I knew I was going to be passionate about, and something that I was going to wake up every day and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do with myself.
How long did it take you after you cut yourself to cut a first client or somebody else?
Oh, dude, it was like 2 weeks after.
2 weeks?
Yeah, I posted it on my story, and my friends were like, yo, you want to practice on us? I was just like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Okay.
As a new school barber, what is one thing you feel as though that the new age barbers do that the old school barbers that are still in the game could benefit from?
It's kind of going back to what you said, Mr. D, right? What he said, how like we brand ourselves. We're like, I'm not throwing y'all under the bus saying y'all didn't hustle, y'all weren't passing out cards back in the day, because I'm 100% guarantee y'all work, because this was probably before social media was huge.
Right.
But I say that's the big advantage we got now, and that's what I think we're taking advantage of at the moment, because social media, from what I've been posting, I've had maybe like 5 to 10 people come in my chair just off that. So I'd say that those 5 to 10 people will look at it and be like, oh, that's not a lot. But to us, it's like, hey, that's 5 to 10 more people that weren't in our chair before they didn't see our videos, you know? So I'd say, yeah, social media would probably be the big thing that differs the generations.
And to piggyback on that, it's really about what drives the person, you know, because when they come to you, they also want to know what's driving, you know, what's behind you, what keeping you rocking like you're doing. You know, you steady at it, you're consistent, you showing up, you're doing the things you do. So what's driving that? So that's open up for a conversation. Now, as I understand, it's 10% technical and 90% conversation, or it's mental.
Oh, wow.
90%. What that means is you're showing up every day, okay? You getting the job done. You know, the service end is immaculate, you know, from start to finish. You know, your client, my client, everybody's client is our client. Whether we serve them in the chair or not, we still look out for them for the duration they're in the shop. You see what I'm saying? So we went. It was just a servitude. You know, it was like, hey man, this is us as barbers. This is what we do. We're the pillar of the community, and this, that, and the other. So it was dear to us. And for the new school, not to throw any shade, I see it's kind of condensed to, it's just about me. It's about me and my client. Where that, you know, with us, we was a little bit more cohesive, you know, more we collaborate a little bit.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of the questions that we have in the next segment, because it talks about more so, I guess, how the community, because that's what you're talking about.
Right.
The community vibe of a barbershop has started to fade. Have we traded in more of the, I guess, the client experience over the culture of the shop? You know, where clients not on their phone scrolling on social media, it's just you and the client. It's everybody. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like one encompassing space that you would go to for a haircut, for a conversation, XYZ, right?
Duct tape on that
All right, man, we are back with segment 2. This is where we do the in-house topics, where we talk about any and everything. At this point, our special guest should be warmed up. You warmed up, Mr. D?
Yeah, I'm flowing. I'm in the flow.
How about you, Bruce?
Oh, yeah, no, dude, I'm feeling pretty good. I think this next segment's going to be the best one, probably.
Say less. So I got a question for you, Mr. D. You feel me? You represent the old school. There's a lot of backlash on social media right now. A lot of barbers from your generation and a little bit earlier bashing new school barbers for using enhancements. So would you say, are using enhancements cheating, or is it just a skill added on to the barber game?
I'd say that it's, for the most part, it's cheating. My reason for saying that is that it don't allow you to display all of your skill set or mastering that particular skill set, shall I say. It's one thing to have it, to use it per se, but then the insurance is that I gave you the best cut possible, the best line possible. So it's okay to use. I highly recommend it, but let's see, days on end. Is that hair? Did you do a flawless haircut?
Okay.
Or so that's my take on that.
Okay. I'm saying like, but how would you feel, right? How would you feel? We have a walk-in, right? Walk-in come in, he show you a drop fade with a super sharp lineup. You can tell it's enhanced. He can't tell it's enhanced. Do you take this moment to educate the client that regardless of what you do, you won't be able to achieve this without using enhancements? Or I'm not sure if you're somebody that does use enhancements, or would you just use the enhancements?
I would like to tell the customer how it would benefit them.
Not using it.
Not using it as opposed to not using it.
Okay,
So,
I understand what you're saying.
yeah. So I would suggest to him that, like, if he's going through something special, like a special event or a night out or something like that, and that's doing the consultation, that's doing the conversation aspect of when you're cutting the hair or whatever the case may be. He's usually telling you his lifestyle. He's usually telling you, where he may going out for the night. Then I will recommend that enhancement. But just in a normal thing, I probably wouldn't
Okay.
use it.
How about you, Bruce? Being a new school barber, is enhancement something? Is that a service you include?
I do certain stuff right now. I've just recently been getting into like the chalk lineups.
Okay.
And I've been learning how to use it because sometimes I feel like the line is too thick and I'm just like, this shit don't look right, bro. Like,
Okay.
And then I've seen my coworker, he like gets a Q-tip, like dabs it up a little bit, then does the line to make it actually look enhanced, but nothing crazy,
I understand what you're saying.
And the way I feel about enhancements, I think they're a great thing. Don't get me wrong, but some people be bullshitting, bro. They be really painting the fade on.
Yeah.
No, that's facts.
And one of my homies that I follow, they each did a side of the haircut. He did the left side, his other coworker did the right side. And then when they did the enhancements at the end, his coworker, bro, he just like painted the whole fade on basically. Like he did 2 extra sprays and I was like, hell nah, bro. I was like, it's clean, don't get me wrong, but
So are you saying, are you implying that it's like casket ready, so to speak? What I mean by casket ready is like it's just fictitious. It's not, when I think of enhancements, I'm old school. I think you have to have the right color for the right type of hair, skin tone, and everything. Yeah. So it goes into, it's more of a cosmetic enhancement thing with that. So knowing your hair type, and all that goes into that.
So you're saying enhancement falls in the category of almost like makeup?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't agree with that, but okay, I definitely feel what you're saying. So my thoughts on enhancements, right? What I'll say is when I first started cutting hair, I think it was really when enhancements first started kind of taking off. Now, mind you, in your generation or a little bit after your generation is when they started using what's the old school enhancement called? Beijing. Yeah. So, mind you, I'm like year 2, year 3 of cutting hair. Mm-hmm. I'm in the military still.
Right.
My supervisor, so he's like maybe like a senior master sergeant. Uh-huh. He had a thinning hairline. He brought me some Beijing. He was like, yo, right, this how my barber does it when we in the States. Mind you, I'm in South Korea at this time. Uh-huh. So I'm like, how do I do this? I remember him telling me that he wanted me to do it prior to pulling up. So I'm on YouTube for like 20 minutes trying to figure out, okay, how to apply Beijing, how to do this. And it was like, it's the 2-part kit, right? Mm-hmm. It's like the primer and the actual, you stir it together, you wait a couple minutes.
Right, exactly.
So after I did that, I applied it to his hairline, waited a little while, rinsed it out, lined him up. He loved it. He was in love with it. He was saying it was perfect. He ended up tipping me like $40, $50. Mind you, I'm in the military. I'm charging $15. I'm not charging nothing, really. So that was my first time ever doing enhancements. And at that point, I'm not really taking barbering serious all the way, but once I began my actual journey as a professional, the first thing that I did was look into every facet of it. And I look at enhancements as a skill set. So me looking at it as a skill set, it takes away, I'm going to use this as a prop to fix my errors. I'm going to use this as something to enhance what I've already done.
Correct.
Because it's a skill set.
Right.
I think a lot of barbers, kind of what Bruce said, how they're painting it on, they're not learning the actual skill set of it. They are, doing a quick fade, no real blend, and then fixing all of their errors by using enhancement,
right,
which is something that I don't really stand for. But there's a right way and a wrong way. I don't necessarily look at it as makeup in a sense, because I don't feel as though it has to be an occasion or an event or a night out for somebody to have this expectation of their cut if it's done correctly, as long as that educational piece is there.
Okay.
Like all of my clients that ask for enhancements, I'm sure to educate them like, yo, there's two different types. There's the semi-permanent that I'm going to use a airbrush gun. It's going to last you maybe 2, 3, 5 days, 2, 3, maybe up to 5 days, depending on how much you sweat or work out. Or I could use this Kiss enhancements, which I will only recommend for a couple of hours, and it will run off. Right. Most of the time, they'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Like my last barber, he just put enhancements on when I was shower, it would come right off. There was no education, So with that educational piece, enhancements is something, if I'm being honest on some clients, I push enhancements. I'm like, yo, because I know their overall vibe and aesthetic. You feel me? Because as barbers, that's also what we're doing. We're matching this haircut to the aesthetic. So if I know I have a certain client that will benefit from this, I know I'm like, yo, he want his line super sharp, but he's afraid that I'm gonna make him look like Carlos Boozer, like just straight black spray. Like that's not what you're gonna look like. Watch.
Exactly.
I'm finna perform a miracle. And then when I show them the camera, they're like, wow, how can I upkeep this? Like what do I have to do? So at that point, I just consider that a skill, like an add-on service, something that I've been able to do to, really elevate my business to where it's at now.
And I agree. I totally agree with that. It is a skill set. And like I said, it's just like with makeup, it's a skill set. You can't, however you look, because you're going into tones. You're going into, if I'm getting deep now,
right?
You're going into tones. You're going into because my objective is to make you look natural, look like you was born with it. You see what I'm saying? You was born with it, and so with that is a skill set, but yet and still you having knowledge of it to best educate them as in how the finished product gonna be. So it's a win-win for both sides, okay?
Right.
And that's what you was alluding to.
Right.
So it's just really knowing what you're doing, educating yourself as you can educate your client, and both parties will be happy.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, the only thing I like enhancements. The only thing I don't like about enhancements is that people spray it in the fade. I feel like enhancements are just for the lineup. But to be honest with you, I'm the type of person, I don't really give a hell who gotta say something about what, if it's black and shiny or what. The person who put money in my pocket is the only person I'm listening to.
Retweet.
And if you want me to spray, if you got black hair, you want pink enhancements, let me see where I can find them pink enhancements at. You're the one that pays.
I feel that for sure.
So that's the only thing that matters in my opinion.
Right.
I agree, but I will piggyback on that. It's if they leaving it up to me as they barber. I'm not to get your money. I'm here to, because you wearing my brand. You wearing my what. Although it's you are wearing what I put on you.
Right.
So therefore, I want you to look the best. Give you the best opportunity to look like you was born with this.
I understand what you're saying.
So I brought on your money. I mean, I'm in it to make money, but I'm also into it for my reputation and for what I do know. I stand on my knowledge.
Right.
On what I know can best serve you. Now, if you want it, there again, I'll do it. And that's pretty much what you're alluding to. But I would push back on that because you wearing my brand. You see what I'm saying? And I got to protect my brand. Case in point.
I ain't mad at that at all, Mr. D. You pretty much saying every client is a representation of your own artwork, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
But hey, I mean, I feel like at some point in time, for the right price, my artwork can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, well, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
For the most part, and what I'm saying, that's client to client basis. That's not. I'm not saying this across the board, as in everybody has to fit into my criteria.
Okay.
But it's exception to the rule.
Right.
But for the most part, I got to stand on my knowledge
Okay.
because my knowledge is what got me here.
Exactly.
So that's basically how I roll with it.
I have a question for you, Bruce. With this whole brief dialogue of enhancements, do you feel as though, because I know you already had mentioned how it was a skill set you were trying to add, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel as though it's something that would elevate what you're currently doing, or do you not have clients that kind of seek that service out?
I'm glad you said that because that's what I was going to say. My clientele basically is not like the enhancement
that.
type. And because like you said, you put it on people because that's their aesthetic. Like
Right.
you know they're going to look good with that. But 9 times out of 10, the people that come into my shop, it's like white businessmen. They either get like scissor cut or they get like a 2 block, a 3 block.
Right.
So it's like, why the hell would I put some dark spray on you when your hair's already dark?
I feel what
like,
you're saying.
and then for the most part too, when someone wants a skin fade, they come in. I mean, their hair's already thick enough. It's just like, why would I enhance that when you already got it? You're already born with it, just like Mr. D said. But I mean, I do want to get into it. I think it's a very valuable skill set because it'll, especially with us on social media and everything, people want to see that. They're gonna be like, oh, he made a nice sharp edge up. He did the enhancements. Like he knows what he's doing. So
Right.
it'll benefit in the long run for sure.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna pivot until the next hot take. Appreciate that, Mr. D. Yeah. All right, Mr. D.
Yeah, I mean, can I be frankly honest?
Be honest, yeah.
I see a lot of overcutting
Mm.
with my new schools.
What do you mean by that?
When I mean by overcutting, I mean like I'm seeing strokes so much to the point where it in my sight and what I understand, it don't take all that. You hit it and you quit it, meaning that you hit it, comb it, hit it, comb it, hit it, comb it. And of course, the brush have taken over from the combs, which you can incorporate them both. I get it, but it's just too much of the wrist action, and it don't require all of that.
I feel what you're saying.
I mean, that's just from my observation, but it's just, and that's why I say it's overcutting.
So, I mean, I somewhat agree, but I feel like it's somewhat necessary because making that comparison between new school and old school, how you said like my first pair of clippers was the Oster fast feeds. Like I really enjoyed them. I think in comparison to the Andis Masters, like the Andis Masters really don't even come close, in my opinion.
Right.
But one pass of the Oster fast feed is gonna bald out whatever I want. You feel what I'm saying? Even all the way open, it's gonna be a clean open.
Right.
Now, if I take the JRL Onyx, which I enjoyed the JRL Onyx, this is no shade.
Right.
It's gonna take me probably 2 passes to what the Oster fast feed would have did in one.
Correct.
So that's where I feel like some of that what you're saying over fading is coming from. People kind of have to fade a little differently, but I also feel like it's a little bit more finesse in some capacity. I think it depends on how you look at it. You feel what I'm saying? But I mean, for somebody that has used a lot of the older stuff, I do enjoy it, but I don't feel as though if I want to do a super precise cut, I really got to know how to finesse this clipper because it's going to take off so much every time, as opposed to using something that's a little less powerful.
And I agree with that. And that's where the old school and new school, because we had to learn the art of cutting hair, beveling that hair, bevel. This wrist here, I had this girlfriend one time, And she said, "Why your wrist is like this here?" And I said, "What you implying?" And she said, "Why your wrist is like that?" I said, "Them years of beveling, baby." And she said, "When them clippers," I said, "Them years of that clipper get in that hand." And that thing just go. It's finesse. It's like,
I
and
feel what you said.
that's the same thing with boxers. Their hands is always like in a balled up position. Shooters who shoot ball, it's wear and tear on that wrist. So it's limbo. It's not. It ain't. It just falls down. It's like you ring a shot, like boom. And that's how them clippers do. Boom, boom. Years of it, but to answer your question, over tape, but it's all in how you prep the hair too. You're prepping the hair, a good clean head. That hair gonna fall when that clipper that pass when you pass through
One
that
way or
hair.
another, yeah.
But if it's not prepped, then it's gonna cause you to go many passes.
Right.
But to each his own, because what's lost in a sense is that we don't shampoo hair enough.
Do you think clients ask for that service less? Or do you think that's something that we don't necessarily push on clients?
I think, and if I can say this correctly, I think it's a matter of we're not as touch feely type as we kind of desensitized from that as the new school. We don't touch our client's head and pivot it and touch it, and it's you have to do certain things to get certain angles and get things to come out right. And I don't see us really want to touch our clients as much as now we wear the gloves to protect ourselves,
Right.
but we don't really get into the healing aspect of what this all about. It's a touch thing. It's touching a person. When you shampooing the hair and condition the head, that's where the party is right there. It ain't in the haircut. It's in that bowl right there. Because these people is relaxing. You take a lot off their minds. The hair is healthy. It's ready. Set the stage for you to cut the hair and groom. And those type of things. That has become rare now. It's a lost thing.
I understand what
It's
you
kind of
said.
like I can kind of say why.
Okay.
Because
I want to hear why.
that goes back to us like using that booking system. We have certain time slots for certain thing, and I feel like people should understand. Don't come into the shop with like a hat on. Don't come into the shop with like shit in your hair, like product and all that stuff. I feel like that should be more educated to the clients. Like we need to speak more on that, because if you bring me a clean canvas, you're gonna get a clean haircut. But it's like if you come in here all messy and everything, and I don't have time to wash your hair because I got a client right after you, it's like, dang, I kind of have to bite the bullet right here.
Yeah.
It's like you gonna get what you're gonna get at that point,
Right.
I just wanted to say, appreciate y'all for watching this. We got more to come. Y'all will be seeing Bruce and Mr. D again, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy it. I enjoyed it. It's a wealth of knowledge on this panel.
Oh yeah, of
Wealth
course.
of knowledge.
Of course.
And so it's been a pleasure. No one got it all figured out. We're doing it collectively, and we're bringing it to you all.
Say less.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.